It is Saturday, September 12th, and I'm out for a day hunt. I'm near the area I was on Labor Day on Monday, but a few miles over. Hopefully we can turn something up. It does not look like anybody's walked through here, so hopefully I got it to myself. There's a little creek that touches over here. It may or may not have water. There's a couple green stuff, but it's going to be about 80 degrees down here. And even though it snowed, I think that was Tuesday, Wednesday, there's only been a couple puddles in the area along the streets, kind of where it would just all melt and drain to. So the roads here are, they're dry as can be, but it's not smoky like it was. Nice little breeze. It's supposed to be a kind of a southwest breeze out of the southwest, and then turn to kind of out of the southeast. See what we turn up. I'm thinking these have to be in the last couple days, just based off the fact that it was muddy a couple of days ago. We're gonna have to put this in the memory bank. Little turkey track. I saw what I thought was a Jake poop. It was a little guy, a little poop, and so a few minutes later I saw the footprint, and now I just saw at least 9 turkeys. It's a good rub right there. Took a branch over here. Really dry down there. I did a 4-mile loop. Absolutely no responses to the bugles, obviously, otherwise I'd be working on something. The footprints were probably at least several days old, and all the water holes that I could try to find completely dry. So there's other places nearby that have waters on the private land, so there's no reason for them to be over here. But I still can't help but think I'm wasting an opportunity. But I think I've got a pretty good starting point for tomorrow, so I'm going to go out again tomorrow. Got a couple things I want to lay eyes on. I got to admit though, I was pretty fired up about seeing those turkeys. It's nice when your failed hunting trip at least was a scout trip for something else. I'm at it again. It is Sunday the 13th, and I'm going to head down near where I was yesterday, but this time what I've got is a few hundred yards of this drainage that has a lot of really tall weeds and some trees. I don't know if they're kind of small cottonwoods or willows or what they are, but they're big enough to be shade trees, and it looks like the weeds might be 3 to 6 feet tall. I mean, it's tall. So I'm going to go through there. I got a south wind, so I'm going to approach it through the north and kind of call real light cow calls as I go down through. See if maybe there's something bedded down in there. And then if not, what I have is, I believe I've got me a water hole I can sit on the last couple hours of the day. The only problem is I don't know where they would be bedded to come to that water hole first thing. The cover's kind of sparse, but it doesn't mean they're not there. That is the only water hole that I know of for a couple miles. So if there's anything in the vicinity, I'm hoping they come there. So it's obvious I got them figured out. These seem pretty fresh. Be extremely careful when walking with a knocked arrow. This is not something I normally do, but I knew I would be up close if I did get into anything, and my steps were very calculated and methodical. Deer rub there. Got some water down here. We got all kinds of tracks in here. We got kitty cat tracks. We got elk tracks. All kinds of good stuff. So I've got some good shade to hang out in. You can tell something bedded right here by the hair grain in the mud. Little garter. Here's another bed. Doing a little rehearsal to covering all my shooting lanes. The stabilizer is what's whacking stuff. About sunset, I had a bunch of doves coming in. And unfortunately, that was all that came in. Good morning. It is Wednesday, September 16th. It's just a few minutes after 6 o'clock. I am on a day hunt. I'm pretty close to the house, but man, I tell you, it took forever to drive up this dang road. A lot of washboards. But I've never even tried to hunt in this area before, but see if we can come up with something. I'll probably hunt till 2 o'clock or so, I think. We're gonna try to get up into some kind of flattish areas up here with some knobs and saddles, and it's above a reservoir, so I'm hoping that the steepness, the initial steepness, keeps people out of there. It is also a bit chilly and breezy for how I'm dressed. I'm dressed for the 75, 80 degrees it's going to get to today, not for whatever it is right now. Alright, rate this call. I pieced together 2 calls to try to do better. There's a fresh set of elk track on this trail, which I did not know was here. My map does not show this. And it looks like a dirt bike has been up it recently. A motorcycle. I moved over a draw, and there's yet another trail. Those tracks are probably from Wednesday or Thursday when it was muddy, which is a week ago now. I am 1.6 miles back in, and I've done my 5th calling sequence, and there's been nothing. I also noticed I haven't found any rubs. The fresher footprints that I've seen are singles, you know, not exactly a herd coming through. It's been easy walking. The deadfall is under control here for some reason. I don't know if that's because there's a lot of aspen here or the pine beetles just haven't got here yet. These do not appear to be very active. This one's got a few footprints around it. They're definitely old. That was 3.5 miles. And it is now about 9:45. So, time to go back to the drawing board, look at some of the other waypoints I've dropped. There were a lot of trails back there, so what it probably is people reusing old logging roads and old mining roads. Colorado's full of that kind of stuff, and so if people are just riding on it with bikes and motorcycles and hiking it some, it just maintains the trails a little bit. But I didn't expect to see anything back there. But the flip side for walking around back there was that the deadfall was so minimal, it was awesome to walk. Much better than the other place. Even though I was still at almost 10,000 feet, the walking was so much better without having to climb deadfall. Tell you what, I'd love to see a grouse right now. Brian and I probably passed on about 6 of them up there in the mountains, just because it was too hot for the meat to keep in our backpack and not supposed to start fires, so couldn't cook it. So we passed on a bunch of them. I'd love to see one right now. I'd take that joker straight home and cook it. This isn't showing up on my map, but clearly it's a road. Well, that was another 1.9 miles added to the day, so I think that's about 5.4 for the day. I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to meet Brian on Friday. It's a little frustrating today because I did not expect to run into so many trails and roads. I thought I was getting off the beaten path, but apparently I was not. There was always some kind of tracks where I was. Just all the time there was typically a single set of tracks. Fairly fresh within the last week or so because it was snowy and muddy last week. So fairly fresh. But that's going to wrap this one up. My day hunts for this week are done. I'm going to link up with Brian on Friday, and we're going to hunt the southern part of Colorado. We're going to change it up, go to a place we've never been, and jump in cold, see how that works. If you like this video, and it'd be kind of hard to since there's not much going on, hit that subscribe down below, give us a thumbs up. As always, thanks for watching.